Hello everybody, hope you're well, hope you had an amazing day so far. So, this section or this podcast is going to be a podcast, it's going to go out on YouTube and I'm going to be putting it in Success Leaves Clues SLC Pocket. So those of you who are doing this in the training module, please make notes by clicking the notes button, either there or there, wherever it is. But for those of you who aren't, maybe you can make some notes yourself. So what I've jumped on today to sort of talk about is this subject. And it's a huge subject. I mean, absolutely massive and so current for this sort of time of year. It's 12 simple steps when you can't get motivated or you don't have motivation. It's pretty hard to get motivation, isn't it? Wake up in the morning or go to the gym, do that training, whatever it is. You're not always going to be motivated. You're going to feel a bit, yeah, and that's normal. That's okay. But hopefully some of these tips and some of these things we go through here may help. So if one or two of them work, then as always, it's been a successful video. And for those of you going through the training modules, please make notes against it. So the first one, which I have, and in fact, this word, without this, you'll never be successful. So without this word, you'll never be successful and your motivations will never work. And you've heard this before on some of my podcasts, and action. Action should be your motivation. You need to take action. Now, of course, you're going, yeah, well, I know that. Well, the idea is, of course, you know it. But when you aren't being motivated, you need to give yourself that kick up the backside to take action. And without it, you'll never be successful. You'll never lose the weight or you'll never grow the business. You'll never hit any of those things. And that also works with the prolific success cycle. But we've covered that in another module. And we can talk about that one later. Now, the other thing with motivation is this one. This is really big. Enjoy the process, not the outcome. See, people want to maybe train and not do the hard work. So they don't really enjoy running or enjoy that exercise. Do it because you don't want to do it. Or the business, you don't want to do the sales. Maybe you don't enjoy certain things, but do it anyway. You see, the journey for success is so powerful because it means when you get there, you can learn all those things. You can backtrack and it's just a journey. So enjoy the process and not the outcome, because you're not going to get straight there. You're not going to do one press up and suddenly have muscles or lift one weight. And and it's the same in business. You've got to be persistent. You've got to keep pushing through. So enjoy the process, not the outcome. Although obviously if you take action and keep being persistent, you will then get where you want to be. Now, this is a cool one. What advice, and I'm recording over my face. Look at this. See? Look at that. Shocking. Right. This one. What advice would you give yourself if your goal or business wasn't your business? I'll repeat that again. What advice would you give yourself if your goal or your business wasn't yours? And why is that relevant? Well, we all are wanting to naturally, as a default position, help people and give advice. And some people, might be listening to this and don't want to listen to it and they'll move on. But when you give advice, sometimes you are reiterating and learning that yourself. It's a little bit like when we were kids. If you've got an older brother or a younger sister and you give advice and your parents told you something, you relay that information on, but you're also learning it yourself in your mind. So if your goal or your business wasn't yours, what advice would you give yourself? Make a note of that in the notes section for those who are on SLC Pocket, and for those that you aren't, just think about what would you do? The goals that you want, the things that you've set, what advice would you give yourself? Now, the next one here is number 4. Okay, it can be quite daunting when you set goals or you want to get motivated to do something, because you look at what the potential end result could be and go, oh, that's just so much hard work. So break it down into small successes. So if it's training, for example, and maybe you want to lose weight, maybe you want to get fit, do 5 minutes a day, then 10 minutes a day, then 20 minutes a day, and build up to it. And before you know it, you'll be smashing whatever it is that you want to do. See, 8 months ago, I was at the start of lockdown. I was probably, well, I was over 21 and a half stone. And I made a decision to train every single morning for 40 minutes to get back down to 18 stone, or just over 18 stone. Now, I didn't want to do that, but I turned up every day to make that happen. And I started off with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then 40 minutes every day. So whatever your goal is, whatever you want to do, whether it's in your business or personally, break it into small, achievable chunks. What works for you? Don't compare yourself to others. It never works. Do what works for you. So break whatever your goal, whatever your task, into achievable chunks. So if it's make 5 phone calls, make 10 phone calls, make 20 phone calls, make 100 phone calls, whatever it is, break it down into small chunks. And what are the chunks for you? What chunks in your personal? So we talk about the pillars. So your business, your well-being, your family, and you. They're the 4 pillars we cover in some of our training sections. But for you, what could you break your goal up or your task or into small parts? What are those small bits? Next one here. Now, this you'll probably all have, and it's always worth refreshing. What is your why? And what is the why of the project or the task in hand? So you could relate this to yourself personally, if it's a personal goal or a business goal that you want to achieve, or maybe it's a task on a particular project. Why are you doing it in the first place? You know, if it's for your children or a better life or financial freedom, all these sorts of things, great, there's a motivator. Maybe it's just success of a project. You know, what is it? Why are you doing it? Break it down into the why, whether it's a task, whether it's personal, whatever it might be. Next one, number 6. What do you want to happen? Do you want to, if you're training, and I'll come back to the training side, do you want to lose weight? If you want to lose weight, then how much weight? Do you want to make money? How much money? You know, what do you want the end result to be? Now, I know I was saying focus on breaking it down into chunks, but you also need to put into your destination. If you go and drive somewhere, you put into your sat nav where you're going, so you know where you're going to end up. So what does success look like for you? You know, what do you want to happen? That's number 6. So again, for the motivation that you're doing, what do you want to happen? And then that should also be the driver. So if it's losing weight, then you go on the treadmill to lose weight. If it's make money, then start making some phone calls. Push, work harder than everybody else. And if it's creating family time, then do it. So what do you want to happen? Now, number 7. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is a really good one because a lot of people are too hard on themselves. Now, they haven't achieved that goal, or they haven't done whatever it is and part of that journey. They maybe haven't lost that weight straight away, but they might feel better, or they haven't earned this money, or they haven't done those things. Don't be too hard on yourself. Break it down into little successes. Nothing is ever done straight away. Things always take time. I've never interviewed or met anybody who has been successful and it just happened like that. You've seen the iceberg example where it shows all the stress and heartache and everything underneath, and then above it just shows the success, and people show the success. So don't be too hard on yourself is number 7. Lucky number, that number 7. Right, success leaves clues. We all need to charge up. We do. And to get motivation, it's pretty hard if you're in a negative crowd or in a negative group. If you've got a group of negative people around you, they're going to be in your ear and it's going to drive you mad. So charge yourself up with like-minded people. If you want to go running, maybe join a running club. If you want to go in business, be plugged into similar like-minded folk. Not those who are going to go, oh God, it's so hard, it's so stressful. Plug it into positive groups like that will lift you and push you to be better version of yourself. They're the type of groups that you want. And when I say success leaves clues, who in your industry, sector, goal that you want to achieve has already done it? Who's done it? And reach out to them. How did you do that? Maybe they made whatever it is they've done. What did you do? How did that work for you? See, for example, I know I keep coming back to the weight thing because that's something I've done personally recently. It's because I showed up every day. I didn't start eating lettuce leaves. I didn't start doing that. I just trained every single day. And I added a strict routine in each area of my life. And that comes into the life buckets. But who has done whatever your goal is, whatever you want to achieve in your business, personally, or even in a project that you've worked on? Maybe you're working for somebody and you have a project that you need to deliver. Who in the organization that you're with has actually completed and done that that project or that task in hand. Because if they've done it, ask them how they did it. Expedite that learning curve, shorten that learning curve. That's number 8. I'm going to do a whole section on this one. Be accountable for your actions. It's tough love. I've got a whole module and a whole podcast on tough love, but at the end of your finger is you. Okay. So only you can get motivated. If someone tells you to do something, you're automatically going to put blockers up. You're not going to want to do it. It's fact. You're not going to want to do it if someone tells you. You have to choose that you want to do it. Because otherwise you'll say, I can't do that, I can't do this, you have a constant never-ending tantrum, it all goes crazy in your head, and you have to use the word choose to harmonise the conscious and the subconscious mind to come together, and only you can get those goals and make them a reality, and that is fact. And with some help along the way from different people. To number 9, be accountable. And there's only you to blame. Don't blame coaches or mentors or managers or business owners or COVID or whatever it is. Don't blame anyone. The end of the finger is you. So you're responsible for your own successes. Now this one, a lot of people find very difficult, and it's make goals so huge you feel uncomfortable. So something absolutely insane, like I want a private jet. You go, I don't want to, and that's never going to happen. You start probably believing, but make goals so big. So if you're going to lose 1 stone, lose 2 stone. If you're going to turn over 1 million, turn over 10 million. If you're going to turn over 100 million, make $1 billion. Whatever it is, push, scale it. We talk about 10x and you see GC and all those guys in the 10x family, but whatever it is, make your goal so big that you feel uncomfortable, because comfort kills, right? So don't settle for mediocre. Push for that goal to be better and stronger. This is motivation. Just make it bigger. Because if you reach for the stars, you clear the gutter. Have you heard that saying? Fantastic saying. I love it. But if you reach for the stars, you ain't necessarily going to be at that star, but you'll be amongst the stars. So make goals so big you feel uncomfortable. Next one. Write a list and log what you do. That's quite simple, but not everyone does it. So depending on the goal, the task, the activity, whatever it is you want to do, write a list and log the activity. So if you're wanting to lose weight, but you're not doing any exercise, you're not sleeping, you're not eating correctly, whatever it might be, just look. If you log it, then you can make some little tweaks, little changes. 30 Feet of Gold, a story I've shared previously, great story. If not, check it out on one of the other podcasts or check it out on one of the YouTube videos. But log what you do and, write a little list. And we naturally like lists. So when we chunk things down into small bits, we talk about chunking up, chunking down, but when you chunk things down into little achievable things, it releases chemicals in your brain to feel good, because you tick, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. So whatever it is, create a little list and tick it off. You'll naturally feel better, and that'll help with the motivation. And then this one is never, ever, ever going to happen. Your motivation, your goals, whatever you want to do is never going to happen unless you believe your motivation. So hopefully one of those 12 things we've just gone over will help you get motivated. And even if you just do one of them, happy days. That is 12 tips on how to get motivated. I know it is a tough time for people right now and getting mindsets in the right place, but it all starts with action. Action, fail, take note, evolve, re-enter. That's after the prolific success cycle. We talked about that previously before, but that is 12 tips on how to get motivated. I'm going to come back to you all here. It's crazy not having a team or production team here to do this, Ta-da! Full screen again. So for those of you in SLC Pocket, against each of those topics, as I talk about it, pause the video and write notes. I want you to write notes on what you're going to do and what you can do for your motivation. For those of you picking this up on the podcast or on YouTube, maybe write notes on your own notes. Have an amazing day. Keep safe. Take care. And I look forward to sharing some more top tips with you. And hopefully you found this useful. Have a great evening. Keep safe. Take care.